Hello my friends, how are you today? I hope you guys are doing well through all this. I hope you guys are having some fun, but learning a lot, being nice to your siblings and your parents, all that stuff. I figured we'd make a little bit of Play-Doh today. Pretty simple. All you need is some flour, salt. I'm going to have to use a combination of vegetable oil and baby oil because I don't have enough of either, but you can use either or, and water. So I'm going to take 2 cups of flour. I got my apron on just in case it gets a little bit dirty. 1. Almost out of flour. And 2 cups of my flour. And then I'm going to take 1 cup of my iodized salt. Uh-oh. I might not have enough. Okay, so I have a 1/2 cup of my salt. So what I can do now is I can problem solve this. I'm going to back out 1 cup of my flour and put it back in the bag. So now my recipe has changed. I had to half the recipe. Instead of doing 2 cups of flour, I did 1 cup of flour. And instead of 1 cup of salt, I did a 1/2 cup of salt. So I've got a 1/2 cup of salt and 1 cup of flour. And I need 3 teaspoons of regular oil. So that means it's going to be 1 1/2 of either baby oil or vegetable oil. I'm going to try to use my vegetable oil or my baby oil first because it gives it a nice smell. There's 1. And a 1/2. Barely made it on that one. And I originally needed a cup of cold water, so I'm going to get a 1/2 cup of cold water. I'll be right back. Got my 1/2 cup cold water. Throw that bad boy all up in the mixture. And the fun part, let's knead it all together. You can see it's starting to form. It does take a little bit to form, so just be patient. Keep working it in there. It's alright. Got to get dirty. It's coming together. When it gets on your hands, just use your other hand to get it off. It'll be a little bit messy, but that's why we wear our aprons, right? Get all that stuff in there. If you're finding that some of the ingredients aren't going all the way together, just get a little bit more water. Just have it ready. Okay, I'm going to give you a look at what mine looks like right now. This is what it looks like. See, you can tell I've got a little bit left, so I'm going to go get a little bit more water. Okay, I got about a 1/4 cup of water in there. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time, just to try to work those dry ingredients that are still in there into the mixture. And if you don't use all of the dry ingredients, it's okay. You might have a little bit left over. Now the last part that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of liquid peppermint. I like my Play-Doh to smell nice. And I also like mine to be green. So I've got a little bit of liquid watercolor. You can use food coloring if that's what you have, whichever works. Now I'm going to knead that in there too. Why I like using peppermint in there is because when you're playing with your hands or you're letting your kids play with it, it gives them a nice smell instead of that Play-Doh smell, which some people like, but it's not a favorite of mine. So I like to use the liquid peppermint because it Alright. Now you have to keep kneading it and kneading it. It turns out a little tie-dye at first. So I'm going to use a little bit more of my watercolor. And then I fold it in over itself. There's how I put it in, and I just take one side and fold it over to try to get all that in the middle. Some will leak out, and that's okay. You just keep working it in. Now we're getting the green that I want. Woo! My hands are turning green too. Alright, now we're getting to the Play-Doh that I like. Now this stuff will last pretty well. I typically like to keep it in a Ziploc baggie and make sure that it's sealed up tight. It might be a little bit sticky, but as you keep working it, it'll be good to go. Add a little bit more water if you need to get some more of those dry ingredients. If it does get too sticky, you can take just a pinch of flour, sprinkle it on top, just like this, and then work it back in. And then it'll get rid of some of that stickiness that's in there. Pretty easy. So again, the full recipe, I had to change mine up a little bit. There you go. Tie-dye Play-Doh was 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, 3 teaspoons of either vegetable oil or baby oil, and 1 cup of cold water. And then I also added food coloring and peppermint smell. And there you have it. Enjoy.